Jakarta moves at a relentless pace. Millions of commuters surge through its arteries every single day, processing vast streams of digital data while physically navigating a massive, sprawling metropolis. To understand how a city functions at this blistering speed, we have to look backward at how its citizens originally connected. A megacity's evolution is an act of behavioral engineering. To survive at this scale, the city demands that its people rewire their entire relationship with space and time. For generations, transportation was a localized, animal-powered affair. The horse-drawn Delman moved only a few passengers at a time, limited by the physical endurance of a single animal. As the population expanded, human-powered transport flooded the streets. You can see the sheer density of Baycocks crowding this vintage intersection, a solution that became a bottleneck as the city grew. Information exchange faced the same physical limits. These wooden tools, the Kentangan and the Badug, were the city's original broadcast system, but they only reached as far as a sound wave could travel. Even early wired networks tethered people to specific locations. Using a rotary dial telephone or sending a postal letter meant accepting a world of physical delays and stationary communication. When millions migrated to the capital, these localized tools resulted in total paralysis. This multi-lane gridlock was the inevitable result of an infrastructure that could no longer handle the sheer volume of a growing metropolis. While culturally rich, these traditional methods created a physical and temporal friction that literally choked the city's potential. Jakarta's first major upgrade replaced distance-limited sound waves with wireless digital signals. We jumped from the wooden Kentangan directly to the smartphone, allowing information to cross the city instantly. To solve the gridlock on the ground, the city engineered the Trans-Jakarta system. Notice how this bus moves freely inside its dedicated fenced-off corridor, while the normal traffic lanes sit completely stalled. The next evolution moved commuters off the streets entirely. This enclosed MRT platform, with its automated glass safety doors, allows high-speed electric trains to move through underground tunnels without interference. Finally, the network expanded upward. This automated LRT train runs on elevated concrete tracks, bringing suburban commuters into the city center high above the street-level congestion. By layering these systems, dedicated lanes, underground tunnels, and elevated tracks, Jakarta engineered a way to bypass the physical constraints of space. Building the tracks was only half of the solution. To process millions of people efficiently, mass transit had to merge with digital communication. This meant eliminating cash and paper tickets. These automated entry gates use tapping technology. A simple card scan authorizes passage in milliseconds, preventing human bottlenecks at the station entrance. This massive physical infrastructure remains inaccessible to anyone without the e-money balance required to trigger these digital sensors. While engineers can automate trains and build tracks, the success of a megacity rests on the internal discipline of the millions entering the system. This diagram illustrates crowd flow physics. Chaos creates gridlock, while budaya antre, the culture of queuing, allows maximum efficiency. Maintaining strict lines is a requirement. Notice how the crowd steps aside to let exiting passengers clear the vehicle before entering. Without this etiquette, the system jams. Operating at this scale requires a strict civic code: no eating, no drinking, minimizing noise, and a zero-tolerance policy for vandalism at the halte. In a functioning megacity, individual chaos is sacrificed for collective order. Even within a system built for hyper-efficiency and rigid automation, the most vital component is often the least technical. These visual markers designate cursi prioritas. These seats are specifically reserved to protect those who need them most: the elderly, pregnant women, the disabled, and parents with infants. It is a striking contrast. Inside a cold, automated environment, passengers are routinely faced with a deeply human choice: whether to surrender their seat to someone in need. From the wooden Kentangan to the MRT, the tools of this city have drastically changed, but Jakarta's survival relies on the discipline and empathy of the people who call it home. This skyline represents the true Megapolitan citizen, someone who has mastered the city's cutting-edge technology while maintaining the timeless etiquette of the community.